Hello there. So this is our video on the actual U.S. tax system, and this is for the year 2019. And so you can see that there are several different marginal rates. And in other words, so the first $9,700 you make, so if you make anything between $1 and $9,700, that will be taxed at 10%. And really I should be a little bit more careful here. This should really be $96.99 technically. And any dollar amount between $9,700 and $39,000, $39,474 to be exact, gets taxed at 12%. And since you understand what a progressive system is, you can see as you make more money, that new money you make above the certain amount gets taxed at these various rates. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a high income, $600,000 a year. And the reason why we're starting with that high number is so that we can actually see how each of the marginal rates would work. Over here I have my boundaries. Telling the kitty to be quiet. Shh. No kitty. We have our boundaries over here. So for the 37% marginal rate, anything above $510,300 needs to be taxed at 37%. Okay. So amount to be taxed. Well, I made $600,000, but I'm only going to tax anything above the $510,300 mark at that rate. So what we can do is subtract. We can say, okay, this is how much I made minus the amount of the boundary. Says, okay, this person's going to have $89,700 taxed at 37%. Okay. So then what I have to do is I have to say, okay, well, I'm going to tax the $89,700 by 37%. So I can do this 37% times the $89,700. So on that particular amount of income, the person has to pay $33,000 in taxes, roughly. And then question would be, how much is left over to tax? Well, that's an easy question to answer as well. We made $600,000, and we were only taxed on the $89,700. So I can just say subtract that $89,700. And now, of course, I'm left to tax $510,300, which makes perfect sense because that's the boundary. That's how much is left to tax. All right, so now back to my next marginal rate, which would be 35%. And this is where it gets maybe a little tricky. The boundary for the 35% rate is $204,100. Well, the question is how much money should be taxed in this bracket? Well, normally you'd say, well, maybe I would subtract $600,000 minus the $204,000. But we have to remember, we already taxed $89,000 of this. So what we can do is rather than go back to the original income, we can go to the amount left over to tax, which is $510,300, and subtract out the $204,100 of the boundary, and I get $306,200 to tax in that bracket. The tax will be computed similarly, and so we'll get equals, and we're not going to do any of these suggestions, we'll figure it out ourselves, equals the 35% times the amount that we needed to be taxed. So therefore, this person's going to pay $107,000 roughly in taxes on that 35%. And we have to figure out how much is left over to tax. So, well, we started with $510,000 in this bracket, minus we already taxed $306,000 in this bracket. So now we get $204,100, which of course matches the boundary. It's perfect. So what I would like you guys to do is to try to pause this video and fill out the rest of this sheet, because you can kind of see how the pattern is going to work now. And then you'll be able to compute a total tax. So you can take the amount of tax that you're paying on each bracket and add it up in this box right here to get a total amount of tax. Thanks, guys.